Hi there, this is Mr. Jones, and I'd like to help you with subtracting integers. Okay, here are just a couple of key concepts. First of all, to subtract an integer, we want to add its opposite. Alright, so if I have 5 minus 7, I'm going to take 5 and add the opposite of 7, which is negative 7. 5 plus negative 7. And you remember that when you're adding numbers that have opposite signs, what we're going to do is take the absolute value of each number and take the difference. Okay, so you're going to take the absolute value of negative 7. That's 7. And the absolute value of 5 is 5. And then you're going to take 7 minus 5, and that's going to equal 2. And then you keep the sign of the number that had the initial larger absolute value. So negative 7 has a larger absolute value than 5, so I'm going to keep the sign, and that's going to be negative 2. Okay. If I have 5 minus a negative 7, then I'm going to change the subtraction to addition, and I'm going to take 5 plus and add the opposite of negative 7. And the opposite of negative 7 is 7, so this becomes an addition problem. 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay? And I can also apply the same rule with algebra using variables. When I have a minus b, I'm going to instead take a and add the opposite of b, which is negative b. So a plus negative b. Alright? Well, let's simplify a couple of these expressions. Negative 7 minus 7. Okay, well, again, when I'm subtracting, I'm going to take that and change that to an addition problem. So negative 7 plus the opposite of 7 is negative 7. Okay, so rather than negative 7 minus 7, it's going to be negative 7 plus the opposite, which is negative 7. So now I'm adding two numbers with the same sign. I add their absolute values and I keep the sign. So negative 7 plus negative 7 is negative 14. Okay? Why don't you go ahead and try number 2 on your own, and when you're ready, you can continue. Okay, well, again, I'm going to take the subtraction and I'm going to change it to addition, and I'm going to add the opposite of negative 13, so I'm going to add 13, and that's going to give me 23. Okay, well, let's do one more example here. Suppose a group of explorers leaves their location. They use their handy-dandy GPS locator to tell them that they were 347 meters above sea level, and they began descending into Death Valley, and they climbed down 843 meters from their first location. And then they want to know how far are they below sea level when they stop. Okay, so their starting point is here, 347 meters above sea level, and from there they descend down 843 meters, and I want to know at what height are they now. Okay, so see if you can write down a mathematical expression